Hi, Mike from RMT Family here. Well, the coronavirus brought us another thing. We got lots and lots of milk. There was actually 4 more gallons out here earlier, but we have started processing the milk. We're canning it so it can last longer. At my work, there's a guy that showed up, one of our customers, and he said they have all this milk. He brought about 100 gallons and they couldn't sell it anymore because the sell by date is April 1st, and so they had to take it off the shelf on the 2nd. And the milk is just fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but it cannot legally be sold anymore. And they had so much milk they couldn't get rid of it anywhere, so he came over to my work. There's a bunch of employees there, a lot less than usual, since several people got laid off or work from home. So I took some milk home that day, just a couple gallons, and the next morning it was still out there, lots and lots of milk. And the milk was just fine staying outside, as it is in the 20s outside at night, and it comes up to about 35-40 degrees during the day, so the milk sitting outside was just fine. So I brought another 18 gallons of milk home last night, and we put them out here on the bench, and I started processing this morning. So we are going to can all this milk. I have never done this before, but well, luckily there's YouTube, and we watched several different videos on how to process milk. This is all 1% low-fat milk. The whole milk was pretty much all gone. People seem to like the whole milk more than the 1 or 0%. Actually, there were still about 18 gallons, I think, 3 cases of 0% left. But I don't know how well the 0% works for canning. We usually drink whole milk here, so I went and took all the 1%, and we're going to process it maybe a few extra minutes and maybe making it a little creamier, so making it maybe a 2% milk. So we'll see. But yes, we got lots of milk. It's kind of overwhelming to do this unexpected. We had to get all our canning jars out, start counting lids and rings and everything, because this is unexpected high amount of milk to can here. But we're doing the best so that we don't have to waste that milk. That would be really bad. So we're trying to can it, and hopefully that will work out for us, and we can keep drinking this milk over the next several months or however long it takes. So now we're inside. These here are all the boxes with jars that we had to get out of the attic. And here we got a bunch of jars and more jars. They're all washed, ready to be used. Here we got 4 jars ready to go into the canner as soon as the first batch is done. Then we had to quickly get all our rings out, all our lids, everything out, so that we can can all this. There's a bunch more rings, those are the big ones. And this here is our canner. Right now it's venting, so we're waiting 10 minutes. The instructions that we found are all very similar, just about the same. So you start with all your product basically cold. Your jars are cold, your milk is cold, or room temperature. Then you put it in your pot and you heat it up slowly. Don't heat it up too fast so they don't crack. Heat it up slowly until you get the steam coming out. You steam for 10 minutes, and then you put, depending on what kind of cooker you have, on ours here, we'll just switch this over to number 2 to create the pressure. Others have a weight. You do whatever you need to. You bring it up to pressure. At least 10 pounds. Elevation matters, obviously. So, and then a lot of people just go until they reach the 10 pounds pressure and then actually shut it off. We'll go to a little over 10 pounds pressure. We go to our high setting, number 2, and then we'll process for actually 10 minutes. This is 1% milk, so it will make it a little creamier. As we process it a little longer, it maybe turn more into like 2% milk. Doing that, also, it's definitely safer when you process it, but a lot of people don't, so that is up to you. It's not even recommended, basically, to can milk, but a lot of people do it, so you're on your own on that. Do whatever you want to. We're trying this for the first time, and we'll see how this goes. Unfortunately, our canner is relatively small, and we can only get 4 of these quart jars in there at a time. All the bigger canners are made out of aluminum, but we have an induction cooktop. And on an induction cooktop, aluminum pots and pans don't work. You don't need any special pot and pan or anything. You need one that is magnetic. And so nothing special, actually. We have cast iron pots and pans that we use. They work wonderful. The stainless steel pots that you buy at like the hardware store to make broth, they work wonderful. They're cheap, so nothing expensive needed. Even the camping wear, that blue animal camping wear that you can buy at hardware stores and outdoor stores, works wonderful on an induction stovetop. Also on an induction stovetop, you bring the heat on right away and you take the heat off right away. The top itself doesn't get super hot, so you don't get burned. And if there's no pot or no pan on it, it will not even turn on. So they're super safe, super fast. Faster than gas. They work wonderful. The only disadvantage we have currently, there's, well, or last time I checked, there still was no larger pressure cookers available. So I got to do 4 quarts at a time here, which means 1 gallon at a time. So this will take quite a while till we're done. But we'd rather save the milk than waste it. So we had our 10 minutes of venting, and then I did set it to number 2 right there, and I've been waiting a few minutes, and now it starts to come out there already. Number 2 is the higher pressure setting at 15 psi. Recommendations I've seen were for 10 psi. This cooker only allows 8 or 15. Number 1 on here is 8 psi, number 2 is 15 psi. Also, we are above 3,000 feet of elevation, so the higher pressure is definitely better. Excuse me. If you are at lower elevation, maybe the 8 psi will work. Especially if you process it, it's probably fine at the lower setting. Most people, like I said, just bring it up to 10 psi and then shut it off and let the whole pot cool down naturally, which takes about half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour even. So in this case, since we want to be on the total safe side, we let it come up to the higher pressure, 15 psi, and I will process it for 10 minutes at that pressure. If anything, this may make it a little creamier milk, since this is 1%. That would be just fine if this would turn into like a 2% milk due to processing. So we're definitely on the safe side here. So now it's starting to come out, and I can slowly reduce the heat so that we don't go super high. And we'll let it go from now for 10 minutes, and then we'll turn it off and let it cool down. Now we have reached 10 minutes of cooking under pressure. So we're still on setting number 2, but have reached our 10 minutes. Now it's time to turn the stove off. And we're just letting it sit and let it completely cool off naturally without doing anything. So we're not changing the setting here. We're just waiting until the pressure completely disappears, until this little lock indicator drops down. Then we can unlock it and open it up, but this will take about 30 to 45 minutes here. It is about 45 minutes later, and finally we can see the little safety indicator is back down. So that means all the pressure has been released. We left it on the setting number 2. So I can turn this down to venting. Nothing comes out. We can unlock it and open it. A little harder to do with one hand. There we go. Holding it away from you. All right. Here we go. There's our 4 jars. Now we'll swap this and put this out of the way. Put the bamboo down and a rag on it, or a towel. Grab these things here, so we can lift the jars out. There we go. Still bubbling. Oops. Number 2. 3. And 4. All right. So there's our first 4 jars. We gotta let those cool down. And I'll keep on doing this probably almost all day long, because we got lots of milk to can, so that we don't waste it. All right, it's now 14 hours ago that we started this project. So we got less jars here. All these jars are now filled, processed, and we got all these jars over here that are all done and processed. But we only got 8 gallons done today. So 32 quarts of processed milk today in 14 hours. So there's still 10 more gallons out there. We got these jars already washed and prepared for tomorrow. And somewhere over here there's a few more jars, but we don't even have enough jars to finish it all. So we'll see how much we can do tomorrow. Maybe we'll have to go to town and buy some more jars to finish that, but we might wait till Monday. Today came up to about 45 degrees, but it didn't outside, but it didn't stay long, and it dropped down to mid 30s real quick again. So we can leave that milk outside a little longer too. So yeah, we got 8 gallons done in 14 hours. So it is pretty time consuming to get this milk canned, but they all came out good. They all sealed. So I heard every one of them pop, and so that's a good sign. So yeah, we'll keep going tomorrow. Good night. All right, this here is the last batch. So this is actually the second day we've been doing this. This is the last batch of canned milk. We ran out of lids, and I had this jar here and never used it before, but I thought, hey, give it a try, because the gasket was still nice and pliable, and so seems to work just fine with it. But yeah, we have no more lids, and actually I was hoping that Jamie would have to go to town Saturday or Sunday to show a home, but that didn't happen, so we were not able to get any more lids, and so we had 6 gallons of milk left. Gonna show you real quick where we got the other milk. So we stack them up here. They're up there in the pantry. And yeah, so currently we're trying to give the other 6 gallons away. Kind of burned out of canning milk. The canning part is actually relatively easy, but then the jars come out, you gotta clean them too. You gotta clean up everything, so it's a lot of work. We've been doing this for 14 hours the first day, and then probably another 5 or 6 hours the second day to get here, so it's a lot of work, but we saved lots of milk like that. Out of the 18 gallons, obviously we canned 12, and this was all 1% milk, and we process it for 10 minutes, so that should make it a little denser and a little creamier, and hopefully taste more like a 2%. So yeah, this is it. We canned all the milk we could until we ran out of lids. We don't have any here, so we're trying to give the rest of the milk away. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. If you got any questions, put them down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you. Bye.